If you're watching this right now, stop. Pause everything around you, because what you're about to hear was meant for you. This isn't random. You didn't stumble here by chance. Heaven has been moving, the atmosphere is shifting, and the Spirit of God is stirring with urgency. Listen closely. Angels have been dispatched, assignments have been released, and your name was spoken in the throne room. This is not just another day. This is not just another video. This is a divine message, wrapped in mystery, loaded with purpose. God gave me a word, and He told me to deliver it to a very specific group, not to the masses, not to the crowd, to the chosen, to the hidden ones, to the ones who've been feeling the weight of a coming shift, but couldn't explain it. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. These are not just days on your calendar. They are spiritual markers, prophetic signals, holy intersections. God is not just preparing something around you. He's activating something inside you. And if you stay with me, not halfway, not distracted, but all the way through, you will never look at these 3 days the same way again. What's coming is not normal, it's not safe, it's not comfortable, but it is necessary, because something is unlocking. And heaven is about to announce a shift that you were born for. Now listen, if your spirit is already resonating with what's being said, if you feel that electricity inside, that trembling in your chest, that's not emotion, that's recognition. Your soul remembers the sound of heaven's call. So here's what I want you to do. Tap the like button as a prophetic act of agreement. Subscribe if you haven't yet. This journey is not a one-time word, it's a divine unfolding. And in the comments, write 99, because Psalm 99 says, He sits enthroned between the cherubim, let the earth shake. Let the shaking begin. Now, are you ready for what God said about Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Let's go. Friday arrives quietly. No lightning, no thunder, no dramatic signs in the sky. But don't be fooled. In the spirit realm, everything is being rearranged. What you thought was stable will begin to shake. People you leaned on may become distant. Opportunities that once looked golden will suddenly feel hollow, and it will confuse you. At first, you'll ask, why is everything pulling away from me? Why does it feel like I'm losing instead of gaining? But hear me, you're not being punished, you're being positioned. God always removes before He reveals. He always subtracts before He multiplies. And Friday is the day He starts cutting the cords, not because you're being abandoned, but because you're being elevated. There are things you've been attached to, people, habits, mindsets, even some dreams, that served a purpose for a season. But they cannot survive your next elevation. Friday is not a curse. It's a cleanse. God is saying, I am removing the noise so you can finally hear me clearly. You've been asking for clarity. You've been begging for breakthrough. But clarity comes when the clutter is gone, and breakthrough never visits a crowded heart. It might hurt. It might feel unfair. But there is divine mercy in the removal. Because sometimes, what you're trying to hold on to is the very thing keeping you from flying. God is not trying to take something from you. He's trying to protect what He placed in you. Some of you watching this, you've been asking why you feel so restless lately, why your peace is off, why your routine no longer satisfies you. Here's the answer. You've outgrown the cage. Friday is when God starts opening the door. But here's the catch. He won't push you out. He'll just unlock it. And wait. Because separation requires your cooperation. You were never meant to blend in. You were marked to break cycles, not repeat them. You are carrying something sacred, and it cannot be contaminated by proximity. And that's why Friday is dangerous to the enemy. Because when a chosen one lets go of what was, nothing can stop what's coming next. So don't panic when things feel unstable this Friday. Don't cry when a door closes. Don't beg for something that's walking away. Instead, listen. Because if you silence the noise, you'll hear it. That still, small voice whispering in your spirit. Let it go. I'm making room. This is your exodus. But what happens after the exodus is even more shocking, because Saturday is coming. And what looks like silence is actually the setup of heaven's greatest strategy. And then comes Saturday. No lightning, no breakthroughs, no thunderous signs, just silence, stillness, the sound of waiting. You wake up hoping for evidence of movement, but all you get is still air and unanswered prayers. Nothing's changing, at least not where your eyes can see. But that's because Saturday is different. Saturday is the hidden day, the day when heaven goes quiet to strategize, and while your emotions scream for noise, God whispers through the silence. Saturday will feel uncomfortable because we've been trained to equate motion with progress. We want to see, hear, feel. We want confirmation. But God doesn't move on our timelines. He moves according to eternal alignment, and alignment always begins in the invisible. God does his most precise work in the dark, where the enemy can't see it, where distractions can't interfere, where your old patterns can't sabotage the new plan. Saturday is heaven's war room. The battlefield goes still, but not because the war is over, because the next move is being planned, and God only reveals his blueprint to the still. If Friday was the severing, Saturday is the strategy. You're not stuck, you're being positioned, not ignored, but insulated, not abandoned, but trained. There are things God is about to trust you with that require you to move not emotionally, but strategically, because favor without strategy is wasted. Doors without timing become traps, and blessings without discipline turn into burdens. So on Saturday, God doesn't rush you. He refines you. He sharpens your sight, quiets your fear, resets your focus. You begin to see what others miss. You begin to hear the quiet clicks of divine doors unlocking. You begin to sense the steps being laid out, one by one, and suddenly you realize the silence wasn't punishment, it was protection. Because here's the truth, Saturday is where most people lose. Not because the enemy wins, but because they give in to impatience. You start doubting the word. You start questioning what God said. You start entertaining voices that sound spiritual, but aren't surrendered. But if you want to break the cycle, if you want to walk in prophetic fulfillment instead of repeated frustration, you must learn how to wait well, because there's a difference between being still and being stuck. God never asks for passivity. He asks for posture. A posture that says, I don't see it yet, but I know it's coming. I don't feel it, but I believe anyway. I won't move until you say move, but the moment you speak, I'm ready. In the stillness, he speaks. In the quiet, he reveals. But he does it subtly. A thought, a dream. A moment of clarity at 2 a.m., a verse that suddenly glows, a conversation that confirms everything. You'll realize he's been speaking the whole time. You were just finally still enough to hear it. Saturday is sacred. It's not a delay. It's a download. It's not a break. It's a briefing. God is not slow. He's specific. And right when you settle into the silence, right when your spirit aligns with heaven's rhythm, right when you accept that Saturday was never empty, it was encoded, you'll feel it. A tremble in your atmosphere, a shift in your chest, a quickening in your spirit. Something is about to change. It won't be loud at first, but you'll know. The time of stillness is over. The launch is near. And then comes Sunday. The day where everything hidden is revealed, where every silent plan becomes a sudden manifestation. But don't get up yet. Don't scroll. Don't skip ahead, because what God has planned for Sunday is not just a moment, it's your unlocking, and in the next breath, heaven's silence will erupt into supernatural movement. What's coming next will leave no doubt that heaven has moved. Stay with me. And then, Sunday comes, but not gently, not subtly, not with whispers. It crashes in, like thunder cracking open a silent sky, like a dam breaking after pressure has built for far too long. Because Sunday is not polite, it's not quiet. It doesn't ask for permission. It kicks the door wide open. The heavens shout. The earth shifts. And in a single breath, everything changes. This is the day of divine reversal, where what held you back is now behind you, where the word you carried finally carries you. What didn't make sense on Friday, what felt empty on Saturday, now falls into perfect blazing clarity, because God never forgets a promise. He never miscalculates timing. He never wastes your pain, your waiting, your obedience. Sunday is the explosion, the release, the rush of glory that's been waiting just outside your reach until now. Your prayers answered, your closed doors open, your not yets turned into go now. This is when delay becomes delivery. This is when waiting becomes walking. This is when prophecy becomes reality. And it won't come through the path you expected. It won't arrive through the people you predicted. Because when God moves, it's never logical, it's always supernatural. You will feel it in your chest, that holy ignition, a divine push forward, no longer crawling, no longer circling, but being launched. God isn't just preparing a way anymore, He's calling you to run into it. This is the moment that shifts the trajectory of your life. The phone call, the email, the conversation, the opportunity that shows up randomly. But you know it's not random, it's divine. It's Sunday, and something inside you will say, this is it. This is what I was sensing. This is what I was built for. Everything slows down, and then speeds up at once. You look back at Friday and realize the separation was necessary. You look back at Saturday and realize the silence was strategy. And now, you're standing in the storm of answered prayers, not one, not gradual, but suddenly. Suddenly there was a sound from heaven. Acts 2:2. That's Sunday, suddenly, and you won't even have time to adjust, because the Spirit will move fast. Things will align instantly. Favor will chase you down. You won't knock on doors. They'll open before you get there. This is the public manifestation of your private process, where heaven reveals what it's been building in secret, where God says, now the world will see what I saw all along. But don't get too comfortable. Don't relax yet, because what starts on Sunday is only the beginning. The breakthrough is not the finish line, it's the launch pad. And while others celebrate the surface, you'll feel the pull of something deeper, a greater calling, a fresh mission, a holy unrest that whispers, you've been released. Now prepare for what's next. So breathe it in, stand tall. Let the wind of the Spirit hit your face, because the days of waiting are over, and Sunday has arrived. But what comes after the breakthrough is even more unexpected. And it will separate the crowd from the called. Stay with me. What's next will require everything. Let's be clear. This is not a message for everyone. Not everyone will understand this moment. Not everyone will feel the weight of what's happening. Because this isn't common. This isn't random. This is prophetic. And you're not ordinary. You've always known it, even if you couldn't explain it. There was something different about you. A tension in your soul. A pull you couldn't shake. A longing that no one else seemed to carry, while others were running ahead. You were being held back. While others were being celebrated, you were being hidden. While others built platforms, you were being broken, refined, stripped down to the core. Not because God was punishing you, but because you were being prepared, chosen. Ones don't get shortcuts. They get seasons of silence. They get the furnace. They get the wilderness. Because the deeper the calling, the deeper the carving, and the longer the delay, the greater the release. You weren't rejected. You were reserved. You weren't disqualified. You were set apart, while others were busy being seen. You were being equipped for what they could never carry. And now, it's your time. These 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they weren't just a sequence. They were a signal. Divine countdown. An unlocking in the spirit. Heaven's way of saying, now, step forward, step into it. The timing has arrived. Because God doesn't operate on coincidence. He's not moved by luck or human calendars. He's not waiting for the approval of people. He moves by design. And this alignment, this shaking, this awakening in your spirit, it's not hype, it's heaven. Everything you've walked through, the silence, the warfare, the confusion, the waiting, it was timed with precision. You weren't late. You weren't forgotten. You weren't missed. You were timed for release. This is why nothing made sense before. Because it wasn't supposed to. You were still in development. But now, the page is turning. And here's the truth the enemy didn't want you to know. Your frustration was never failure. It was friction. Because the calling on your life was pressing against the limitations around you. The delays weren't denials. They were disguised doors. And God has just handed you the key. So when you felt pushed out, overlooked, miscalculated, it wasn't the world rejecting you. It was heaven protecting you, because what you're about to carry requires purity, clarity, and boldness. This moment, this exact timing, it has eternal weight. It's not just a shift in your schedule. It's a shift in your spiritual identity. You're not who you used to be. You've been marked, cut, tested, approved, and the ones who mocked your stillness will soon witness your acceleration. Because when heaven says now, nothing can stop you. You were born for this sequence. Friday broke you, Saturday built you, Sunday launched you, and now, the days ahead will define you. But listen closely. This timing is not random. This moment is not light. Because if you are truly chosen, then you don't just walk into new seasons, you initiate them. And the world around you is about to feel the ripple. The next step will demand a new version of you. Are you ready for what heaven reveals in point 5? Don't blink, don't scroll. The final movement is coming. Heaven is not silent, not in this hour, not over your life. Right now, even as you're watching this, something is shifting in the atmosphere. Invisible hands are moving, angels are dispatched. Divine assignments are being activated. You can't see it with your eyes, but your spirit can feel it. This is not imagination. It's visitation. The heavens are not still. They're in motion. But here's the part that most people miss. When heaven moves, you must move too. This isn't the time to pause, to hesitate, to overthink. This is the time to respond. Your movement is heaven's echo. God initiates, you align, because the favor is real, but it won't wait forever. The windows of heaven open, but only those who step forward receive the rain. Now is the moment to act on what God whispered in the night, to do the thing you've been afraid to begin, to say yes, even if your knees are trembling. Faith was never about perfection. It was always about permission. Permission to obey even when you don't understand. To step into rooms you used to avoid. To call the person God placed on your heart. To launch the vision that's been burning in silence. The Spirit is stirring. Things that looked long dead, old dreams, forgotten promises, buried callings, and now heaven is breathing life back into them. But that breath means nothing. If you don't rise, if you don't speak, if you don't move, Obedience activates the anointing. Movement unlocks the miracle. This is your divine permission slip to move forward without having every answer, to walk without full clarity. Because God is the lamp at your feet, not the spotlight on the highway. You're waiting for confirmation, but heaven is waiting for your motion. You want a sign, but you are the sign. The enemy wants you frozen in doubt, but the Spirit is calling you into action. Because there's a shift happening, and hesitation is a form of resistance. This isn't about hype. This isn't about chasing feelings. It's about obedience. And obedience isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just one quiet yes. That unlocks an avalanche of breakthrough. Heaven is aligning the people, preparing divine intersections, setting up random moments that are actually perfectly orchestrated, but it only works if you show up. So speak the word, send the message, start the business, apply for the thing that scares you, pray like you mean it, love like you've been healed. Don't let fear become your strategy. Don't let comfort become your cage. Faith is motion. Faith is fire. Faith is forward. You've been crying out for God to move. But now, He's looking at you, and heaven is whispering, "You've asked me to shift your life. Now shift with me." This is the moment. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel more qualified. Now. Because the move of heaven was never meant to be watched. It was meant to be mirrored. And those who move with God in this hour will walk in the kind of favor that doesn't make sense. We'll see doors open that were welded shut. We'll step into territories they never imagined. Heaven is moving, and so must you. But what comes after this movement is not just personal, it's prophetic for the world. Stay close. The final word is coming, and it will shake the very ground you stand on. This is not just another message. This is a divine moment, an encounter, a summons from heaven. Everything you've heard, every word, every stirring in your spirit, was God drawing you closer, preparing you, positioning you, marking you. Because you, listener, you are not watching by accident. You are part of heaven's blueprint, a chosen one for this exact hour in history. And the days ahead, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, aren't just dates on a calendar. They are a spiritual countdown to your unleashing. This is your time, your moment, your yes. Now speak this out loud with me, and don't whisper it. Declare it like your future depends on it. God, I hear you. I receive what you're saying. I declare that Friday will be the day of release, Saturday the day of preparation, and Sunday the day of breakthrough. I am chosen. I am ready. And I say yes to heaven's movement. In Jesus' name, amen. Say it again if you have to. Say it until the doubt breaks. Say it until your spirit catches fire. Because when you speak it, you seal it. Now hear me. You're not walking into these next days as who you were. You're walking in with authority, with clarity, with heaven behind you. The delay is over. The silence is ending. The movement has begun, so don't go back to ordinary. Don't shrink to fit where you used to be. You've been stretched for glory, crushed for power, refined for impact. And now, you move as one who has been sent. If this word pierced your spirit, don't leave in silence. Drop this in the comments right now. I receive. Declare it publicly. Let the enemy know you're not playing small anymore. And then, send this video to someone else God is highlighting in your heart. Because this isn't just for you. It's a wave, and it's meant to spread. God didn't bring you this far to stop now. You were born for this hour. You were chosen for this moment. And something powerful is coming. It begins with Friday. It builds on Saturday. It explodes on Sunday. Be ready. Stay expectant. Move with heaven, because the heavens are open, and your time is now.